This is the only Korean religious thriller that made all 6 of us cry in terror. It dominated the box office upon release, but was quickly reported and censored again. Due to exposing real cults and twisted human nature, it's the high-rated film Crying Fist. The opening is intense. A strange woman is found crushed in highway cement. She died 2 years ago, but shows no signs of decay. Forensics revealed her blood was drained alive, with beans and paper in her mouth. This looks like a cult ritual trap. Only highway maintenance workers could hide the body. Since it's only been 2 years, the investigation isn't too difficult. Police soon identified a construction worker named Lee Seol-jin. They found his address, but it turned out to be a fake Buddhist church called Luya Yuan. The leader claimed he didn't know who Lee Seol-jin was among so many believers. Realizing it was a fake address, police had to call off the search temporarily. Suddenly, a man named Old Park ran up, asking about Luya Yuan. Old Park is a professional cult debunker. In materialistic South Korea, people seek hope in religion. Opportunists exploit this weakness, using religion to scam money. Old Park collects evidence of cult crimes and exposes them online. He earns travel fees from legitimate religious groups to fight these frauds. Luya Yuan is his main target this time. To gather evidence of illegal activities, he planted an informant, Shali, among believers. After weeks, Shali found no signs of profit-making, thinking it might be charity. They help those in need, and everything seems free and legal. The odd thing? They don't worship Buddha or God, but a grotesque guardian king statue. Old Park's intuition says clean exteriors hide dark conspiracies. Now, Luya Yuan is linked to a murderer. Police think it's just a fake address, but Old Park suspects deeper trouble. Just then, a subordinate reports finding Lee Seol-jin's mother's house. After they leave, Old Park secretly notes the suspect's name. That night, before police can find the mother, an uninvited guest, a blonde guy, arrives. They seem to share the same faith. The blonde guy's purpose is clear. He brainwashes Lee Seol-jin to sacrifice himself for a greater cause. This cuts off police leads. Meanwhile, police arrive at Lee Seol-jin's home. Unexpectedly, his mother gets a call from Lee Seol-jin. He says he's doing something great and asks for forgiveness. Police realize something is wrong. When they rush out, although Lee Seol-jin's death is suspicious, lacking concrete evidence, they close the case as suicide out of guilt. Seeing the news, Old Park is even more convinced Luya Yuan hides secrets. He uses a contact to check the name he jotted down. Lee Seol-jin killed his father as a teen and served time in juvenile detention. Late at night, Old Park and his assistant sneak into the compound. They find a hidden door and traces of habitation inside. Old Park finds Luya Yuan scriptures on a table. Understanding them would reveal the cult's dirty deeds, but when the assistant turns on the light, even the experienced Old Park is shocked by the scene. Distorted demon murals cover the room, creating an eerie atmosphere. With help from a monk, Old Park learns Luya Yuan worships one of the 4 heavenly kings. The 4 kings guard the 4 directions. So, besides Luya Yuan, there are likely 3 other branches in Korea. An online search confirms this. But what surprises the monk most is that in Buddhism, the 4 kings originally represented evil spirits tamed by Buddha. They became guardians: Dhritarashtra, Vrudaka, Dhritarashtra, and Vaishravana. No Korean religion would worship them as deities. Luya Yuan must be malicious. But what is their goal? The monk deciphers the scripture to find out. The first chapters mix cultures from other sects, which is normal for cults. But the final chapter is completely new. It's like a demonic sutra predicting an apocalypse where 81 demon lords descend. The 4 heavenly kings are said to be the demon lord's trusted servants. The sutra doesn't explain how they subdued them, only leaving pages of numbers. These numbers hide the truth. Based on the signature, they find a master named Kim Jasik. He is the head of the Eastern sect, a Buddhist branch with high fame. But information about Kim Jasik seems deliberately hidden. The monk brings Old Park to a senior abbot for answers. Kim Jasik is called the closest human to God in Korean history. He backed resistance fighters and saved artifacts during the Japanese occupation. This earned him countless followers and boosted the Eastern sect's power. Suddenly, he disbanded the sect for no reason and wrote a sutra. Born in 1899, he'd be 16 years old if still alive. A small note catches Old Park's eye. Kim funded the juvenile center. That's where Lee Kaol-jin was held. Besides Lee, Kim adopted 3 other sons who killed their fathers. Old Park realizes, are these 4 boys the 4 heavenly kings? Kim adopting 4 matches, Buddha taming the kings. The prophecy of kings fighting demons might be Lee's true motive. Old Park flips through the book and finds the boys' names. 2 have halos in photos, meaning they've ascended, plus Lee's suicide. Only Verutica remains, the blonde guy seen earlier. Old Park calls police friends. Investigation confirms 3 suicides. Worse, the first boy burned down a hospital, killing children and pregnant women. The second fled abroad, massacring a Korean family before hanging himself. All 3, including Lee, killed many before dying. This is definitely not a coincidence. Liu Yeyuan must have an evil purpose. Old Park rushed to report it. But the police ignored his absurd story completely. Meanwhile, the White Tamer had already found out from files that things were not simple. In 1999, Erie twins were born in a remote village. The sister lacked legs. She survived by eating her sister's flesh. Soon, the twins gave birth. As expected, the younger sister was born lame, while the older sister grew 12 fingers and was covered in hair. Doctors threw the freak sister aside, thinking she wouldn't last. Little did they know, she couldn't die. Within a week, the mother was killed by the sister's curse, and the father hanged himself. Fearing disaster, villagers drove the twins out. For over 10 years, grandparents raised the sisters. The younger looked normal except for her disability, while the freak sister was locked in a doghouse with a cross to suppress her. But during these years, wherever they moved, they brought disasters. Like this time, soon after they arrived, the village goats started bleeding day and night. Crows circled the roof constantly. And indeed, a major cattle farmer fell ill. All the yellow cows collapsed without warning. The village invited a shamaness, who immediately saw the problem lay with the new family on the mountain. Using her magic, she found the doghouse where the freak sister was kept. But when she approached, she realized this was beyond her power. Suddenly, a snake bit the shamaness. Then countless snakes poured out from under the door. The terrified shamaness fled. It seemed the sister really did possess some evil power. Back to the main plot, Yellowhair took a red rope to the girl's house, wanting to eliminate the demon lord under his white tamer identity. Little did he know, the one inside wasn't the demon sister, but the innocent younger sister. However, just as he was about to strike, a flock of birds suddenly crashed into the house like they were crazy. Yellowhair was so spooked by this weird scene that he panicked. Then, a door with a cross slowly opened, as if signaling him to come look. Compelled by some force, Yellowhair walked to the dark room where the sister was kept. He leaned down to look inside, then screamed and ran away in terror. If even the White Tamer looked so scared, you can imagine how terrifying the sister was. Back at the base, Yellowhair kept having nightmares. All the girls killed by the organization came to claim his life. Not knowing what to do, the next day, she went to a sanatorium deep in the mountains. She went to find her master, Jin Dishi. Since Jin Dishi was old, all orders were relayed by his senior disciple. After meeting the high priest, Jin Dishi knew his doom was coming, so he disbanded the Eastern religion. Planning early to save himself, first, he wrote a small scripture himself. Then he adopted 4 youths and brainwashed them, making them believe they were the 4 heavenly kings. And those so-called 81 demon lords were just 81 local female infants born in 1999. Jin Dishi would rather kill 80 by mistake than let one go. Only by eliminating his nemesis could he achieve immortality. Old Park suddenly thought, the 4 heavenly kings' bases are neat, centered on Ningyue. Could Jin Dishi's birthplace be here? Was his prophesied nemesis also born here? Old Park muttered 1999. Recalling the numbers on the scripture's last pages, the number 199 appeared frequently. 81 rows of numbers match the 81 demon lords. Could these be the victims' IDs? However, at this moment, the White Tamer had already tied up the girl, chanting spells to strike. But suddenly, the girl spoke. My twin sister is locked in my backyard. The girl, whose leg was crippled since childhood by her sister eating her, hated her deeply. She hoped that after killing her, the other person would take the freak's sister away too. At this point, Yellowhair realized that the one locked in the backyard was the true nemesis of the master. To complete the sect's great cause, she gathered her courage and smashed the steel cable on the iron gate. But unexpectedly, the sister rumored to be a monster had already shed all her hair, sitting with hands in mudra, waiting for Yellowhair. Moreover, she discovered that the other party, like the master, also had 12 fingers. Then she told Yellowhair, your master's 6 fingers are fake. I am the true Buddha, Jin Dishi. Even the scriptures you've read since childhood were written privately by Jin Dishi to survive. Hearing this, Yellowhair's face began to waver. If her master wasn't a true Buddha but a demon, then all those girls killed by the 4 heavenly kings over the years might have been innocent. To verify the other's words, Yellowhair quietly lifted Jin Dishi's quilt while the senior wasn't looking. Unexpectedly, the master's fingers had only 5. Her lifelong faith collapsed in an instant. Then, the senior appeared behind her. She called Yellowhair to the elephant pen in the backyard. Then she pulled out a shotgun and killed both the elephant and Yellowhair. There was a saying here, evil people cannot make eye contact with elephants. Yellowhair had just looked at the elephant without any fear, clearly showing kindness still existed in her heart. For Jin Dishi, kind people had no more use. After dealing with Yellowhair, the senior took the files and decided to go kill the sisters herself. But he didn't know that. Yellowhair, shot by the shotgun, hadn't died. Old Park, secretly tracking, happened to rescue her. Moreover, Old Park accidentally discovered an even more shocking secret. It turned out the senior was the real Jin Dishi. He had long transcended the physical body to achieve immortality. The person lying in bed was just a soulless puppet. Learning the truth, Old Park took Yellowhair to intercept them. He intentionally rear-ended the car to distract Jin Dishi. Yellowhair took the chance to hide in the back of the other's car. When Jin Dishi got in, he took out the red rope, planning to personally eliminate this demon to redeem himself. During the struggle, the car hit the fence and rolled several times. But the next second, Jin Dishi walked out of the car unharmed. Seeing the hypocrite prepare to leave, severely injured Yellowhair remembered the lighter given to her by her twin sister. She lit the gasoline leaking from the car. The fire quickly spread over Jin Dishi's whole body, but the side near the gas tank where Yellowhair was didn't catch fire at all. Actually, Jin Dishi was only one step away from true Buddhahood. But he didn't face the tribulation directly. Instead, he chose to indiscriminately kill innocents to try and escape his end. Little did he know, the moment he harbored evil thoughts, he had already fallen into the demonic path. So whether in movies or reality,